What's up, y'all? So I was planning on working on the Cutlass again this weekend, finishing up we're starting the motor mounts and just finishing up the suspension stuff. But there's been a change of pace because just yesterday I got a notice from my 55 saying that, what does it say? Hold on a second, let me show you guys. So it's a notice of violation saying the Chevy sedan is inoperable. So basically I have like 15 days to do something. So I'm gonna work on that. Hopefully I can just get it started. I called the guy to see like why he deemed it inoperable. Like, I mean, yeah, it's been sitting here for a long time, but it's probably because it's sitting on the ground, but it's on air ride, so it's gonna always be sitting on the ground unless I'm driving it. So I called the guy to just figure that out, because even if it's sitting here, it'll still look exactly the same. So I don't want to have any issues, because it's saying that a inoperable vehicle, what does it say? Sorry. Is an inoperable vehicle that is incapable of being immediately driven, moved, or pulled in the manner for which it was intended. But I mean, you can't tell if it's running or not because it's sitting on the ground. So we'll see if he calls back, but I'm at least going to throw a new battery in it, see if I can get it at least kind of hot wired to where I can get it running, and I don't know, prove it to him that it's not necessarily inoperable. So that's what we're gonna do today, I guess. So I guess I should take y'all around and just show you what we're working with. So it's a 55 Chevy 210 4-door. It's got air ride. It lays frame front to back. It's notched in the rear. Nothing really done up front, not even any drop spindles. It's been sitting for ages. I'll open the trunk in a second and show you the interior and everything. But it's a project that me and my dad had whenever he was still alive. This was actually my first car that I was able to drive when I turned 16. And it's what I drove all through high school and everything. It's got a 235 straight six with a power glide. Oh, where's it at? I mean, it's very basic, so I should really be able to get it going, hopefully pretty easily, at least running off of just a gas can or something like that, instead of pulling out of the tank because it's been sitting so long. But let me see if the keys are in it. The car I used to drive, every day whenever I was in school. Okay, there's the keys right there. I used to drive the car every day whenever I was in school. And then, I think I had bought this house and, just had homeowner issues and spending money on stuff like that. The car sat for a while, and I went to start it one time, and it wouldn't start. So I started troubleshooting, and it turned out that like a lot of the wiring was just old and brittle, and some of it was really bad. So I actually pulled all the wiring out, and I guess I should have showed you that a second ago when I had it open. But I pulled all the wiring out underneath the hood and pulled the dash out and stuff like that I was gonna put a new harness in it and then just have it. But I'll show you in the trunk in a second. But yeah, basically I pulled all the wiring out and it's been sitting since. So give me a second, I'll open the trunk, show you what's in there, and then I'll tell you what I've done with it. I guess a couple of years ago I started working on it before I stopped again. All right, so I found the keys. It wasn't on that same keychain, but they were in the car. Ooh. It's been I couldn't tell you the last time that I've opened this trunk. But the setup that I had in here, I didn't do this setup. It's got a bridge. It's notched. It's got Ride Tech or Air Ride Technologies big red valves. that have been in here for ages. Little 5-gallon tank, Bel-air compressor that, you know, I had mounted into the open end of the 2-inch tubing. Just a little separator here, and then I had a quick connect right here for my compressor, so that way I could either so I could put a, you know, a shop air line to it if I wanted to air it up if the compressor died or anything like that, which I've done before and I'll probably end up having to do now. Looking at some of this stuff, it's pretty bad, really bad actually. This airline here, now that I remember, actually it's just a shop hose, and it runs all the way down the frame up to the front because I had a engine driven air compressor that I would use to fill up the tank, and then that's what it was. So this went into there. I didn't have it teed off. I would just use that in like an emergency if I needed to. But yeah, I took the engine driven York compressor off of it, you know, sometime before I parked it, because I think it was the pulley, the clutch pulley locked up on it. So I'll show you. Actually, it's still on here. I just disconnected it. So it's just a 235 straight 6, right? It's got the engine driven compressor down there, and I mounted the alternator on top of it so I can adjust it here, and then this whole thing swings to be able to tension this belt. It actually worked pretty good until the pulley locked up one time, I think, and I just hadn't ever got around to fixing it. But what happened most recently is I did rerun a lot of the wiring. So like if you see, a few years ago I pulled out or started redoing the wiring. So like I redid all this wire for like the alternator. It's all, you know, good ends on it, shrink wrapped, wire tied out of the way. Those go all the way down here. I got a new one going down to the starter down there, a new ground, all that stuff's here. So what I did most recently was I did all that wiring, you know, your basic wiring, your you know, alternator, ground, starter wire, etc. Looks like I had some hose here that I took off for the fuel line that I was going to use, and I put new plugs in it, new wires, new coil, new cap. There's a Pertronics unit in the distributor now instead of points. And then I got to the point where I needed to basically just try to fire it up, and I started second guessing myself. I was like, well, is it top dead center? Did I set the distributor right, or the cap? Is everything where it's supposed to be? And then got sidetracked, and it's been sitting for the last 3 years since I did that, and never even really tried to start it. So I'm gonna get a battery, and see if I can turn it over, and kind of go from there, see if it's got oil, and then just see if we can get this thing fired up, hopefully. But I'm assuming the carb's gonna be pretty trashed, but we'll see. All right, so I just pulled this thing out of hibernation. Anybody that's got, you know, more than one project vehicle knows that you're always dealing with dead batteries. So just gonna steal the one out of here. It just started this car up fine. I bought this one on purpose with side and top posts because the 55 needs a top post battery. So this one's gonna go in there for now, at least, while I work on, you know, getting it going. But this is, oh, I should leave that open. I'm an idiot. This is where this battery's gonna live. I'm just gonna steal it for a minute. It's a quick change of plans. I put air in the tires over there, and then realized that I live in Florida and it's probably gonna rain sometime today. So instead of having to worry about getting this thing out of the rain last minute if it starts raining, I put it back under this little tent thing to at least keep most of the water out of it. And I'll just steal the battery from it from here. It would have been harder to do because originally I usually pull it in forward so I can put the charger on it. I should get a new battery. So at least backing it in, I get easier access to it. So I'm gonna pull this out and see if I can get it into the other car. All right, so one of the things I like to do whenever I'm using like a battery for multiple cars, especially when one has top post and one has side post, I like to keep these and not tear them, so that way I can slide them back on whenever it's on the top post car, I mean on the side post car, so that way nothing arcs across them. And then I usually keep the this back ones too, but I don't know what happened to them. But at least in this case, the wires are in between here, so it's not like there's any chance for those posts to arc out on the sheet metal. But yeah, if you just don't tear these tabs, they slide over and they stay on pretty good. So just a little extra protection. All right, let's see if we even got any oil in this thing. Uh-oh, I missed the loop here. What happened there? Okay, it's got oil about halfway. Looks good. I must have changed it. I mean, it looks like it. Fresh. So that's good enough for now. Let's see if I can get it back in there. I guess I should wipe it off and try again. Let's see. I can do this one-handed. Just kidding. I did it two-handed. But let's see. Drop this down in there. I mean, the car's been sitting so long, it's probably should be the same, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's a little low, but it's got oil. This thing leaks so bad, there's no sense in me adding quart now and then having it leak out. So all right, so it's got oil. I guess let's see if it'll turn over or by hand, if I can get a hand on this. Oh, drop my towels. Put these here. Put these here for now. Let's see. That should be the crank turning, right? Or no, that's the water pump. Can I get down there? I don't know. I'm gonna try to use the starter because I'm half-assed sometimes and I want to see what happens. So all right, let's just put, okay, this is on there, not tight, but should be all right. Let me see. Easy. All right, no fire yet. Tighten these up eventually, maybe, probably not. All right, so I'm just walking around trying to figure out where I'm at. So all my wires should be good. I have, what is this? Okay, yeah, so I already did this. So this is the line from the tank, and going into there, I added a filter already. And then that's this hose that's coming around. Where'd it go? It's this hose here that I capped with masking tape. Look at me. All right, so I'm not pulling from the tank, I'm pulling from this hose. I'm gonna clean this hose off some, go grab a gas can and dump it in there. Keep it up here high, so get a little bit of siphon action. But yeah, I'm gonna clean this off and go grab some gas. All right, so I got the end of that hose cleaned off, and down in the fuel goes down here to a filter just because it's still above the carb, so technically it should pull through there, right? Isn't that right? Anyhow, grab some starting fluid. Now I got to figure out how I'm gonna hotwire this thing. I'm sure it's easy, but I don't remember where the wires are, so I'm gonna take a look around. All right, in here you can see a little bit better. The dash is out, it's over there. It actually looks like I have the key stuff, Looks like I actually had the key stuff wired. I don't remember doing that. Here's all my, up and down for the front, up and down for back, corners. It's been like that forever. I'm curious to see if this thing is gonna do anything. All right, so I can't do this with two hands or one hand, so see if I can get you set up on a box or something here. Is that gonna work? Maybe? Yeah, sure. Okay, so that's one of the things that I did know about the car, is that it's got a bad spot on the flywheel, I think. So I mean, it was turning over good, it seemed like. Let's spray some of this down in here. Let's see if it's got any spark, because I'm sure it doesn't have any fuel. Oh, let's try that. Set you up there, don't fall. Let's see. So I think that if I keep trying, eventually it'll catch. I used to do something, what did I do? Maybe rock it back and forth, or maybe I'll just keep trying it for a second to see if it ends up catching. Maybe it's the starter, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go get my little battery jump box and see if maybe I throw a little bit more voltage at it. If it's a starter, maybe it'll engage. So we'll see in a second. All right, so I got that going. Spray a little bit more starting fluid in here just in case it tries to turn over. Way too much of that. Let's see. Oh. Set you up. Let's see, come on, baby. How did I used to do this? Let's see. I don't know. All right. So I didn't film it. Camera's probably gonna fall. But I put some tension on the belt and turned the crank a little bit. Hopefully, maybe it turned it over some. Let's see. Nope. Dang it. Nope. Does anybody know what that is? I'm assuming it. I mean, I've always assumed it was the flywheel had a bad spot. Ugh. But I guess it could be the starter. I don't know. Let's see if we can get past it though. So turning the wheel, or turning the belt and the crank didn't help. So maybe it is the starter. We'll give it a couple of love taps and see what it does. All right, so I gave the starter a few taps. Is that gonna help? Let's see. Nope. Come on. Well, it caught. Let's try this again. So the hard part is now that it caught that one time, I'm gonna turn this jump box back on. All right, and then I'm gonna spray some of the starting fluid in here. Let's see if it'll do anything. Hopefully it's gonna catch again, but only one way to find out. Hey, cross your fingers for me, please. Please. Dang it. Sounds like the timing might be off. So, shit. All right. So, full disclosure, I was too lazy to do this part before, which is why I'm in the predicament that I'm in currently. But, yeah, so now I finally pulled the #1 cylinder plug out, and I'm going to rotate the engine over by hand. I'm gonna get like a length of, you know, just stiff wire or something. I don't have any like dowels to use, but something to stick in there and see when it comes to top dead center, and then make sure that it's on plug 1. I got the firing order right. I just don't know if it's I don't know. So we're gonna make sure, or try to. Never done this before. I didn't have you guys in here whenever I did it, but I took this piece of wire, and I'm sure I did this wrong because I don't know, I just be seeing stuff on the internet and stuff. Anyhow, I took this #1 plug out, stuck this pretty stiff wire down in there, and you can actually see the mark where it was originally. And at first I was like, oh, I'll just mark it after I turn it a little bit, and when it stops, you know, coming outwards, then it's top dead center. Well, I didn't have to do all that. I just put it in there and then turned the fan while putting tension on the belt, and it turned the motor over, and this thing would slowly push out until it didn't anymore. And when I did, that should be top dead center, right? And then I checked where the rotor was in the cap, and it was actually, so this is where I had #1 before, and the rotor was actually like right before this one. So I'm assuming I had the right order, but it was just starting on the wrong one. So I don't know if that matters, but I moved them all around one spot. So hopefully that'll help. We'll see here in a second. Hopefully I don't blow something up, but what I'm gonna do is try this again. Let me turn this on. All right, let me spray down the house a little bit and give us, drop that. Let's give this a shot. I mean, I'm not super hopeful, but I mean, you never know. Can you guys see? Let's try this. Cross your fingers. Well, I didn't hear it backfiring or sound like it was backfiring. I really didn't hear it firing at all. Well, oh, were you guys looking at the ceiling? My bad. So that didn't work. It's got to turn it over. It doesn't sound like it's firing though. So what I messed up here? I don't know. Wonder if it's pulling any fuel. It doesn't look like it is yet. Let me try to close this. Hold that choke valve closed. Spray some more of this in there. I don't know. Let's see. Try to do that. Close. Stay closed. Why is that? Why is that not staying closed? What's going on here? Anyhow, we'll just leave it like that. Try it again. Come on. Give me, sorry about the hand. Give me a break. Well, sounded like it popped once, but sounded like it was also a backfire. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have a whole lot of videos because I'm just gonna keep trying this. I want to catch it if it does start. Update, so still not running, still hasn't fired up. I went to the parts store, got an inline spark tester, a timing light, and good old Lone Wolf 9000. And I had the tester on here a second ago, and sorry, the truck's running, it's keeping this battery charged. I had the tester on there and it's getting spark, so that's good. It's way out of timing though, I guess, because yeah, it's backfiring and it just doesn't sound right. And I was watching the timing light on number one, and right when it flashed, I stopped holding the trigger, and you can see down in the where's the flashlight? You can see down in the valve cover. Where'd my light go? Oh. You can see down in there that the one of the, so I don't know if you could tell, but that valve on the right should be the exhaust valve, looking at this. So, and you can see that it's actually, I mean, you might not be able to tell, but I can see that it's actually down, so it's open when this cylinder's firing. So what I'm gonna do is try to do top dead center again, see where it lands, and go again from there. I don't know, because if I can't get it running, I can't really put a timing light on it to verify. So I just got to get it, I don't know, set to where it, when it fires at one, both those valves are closed and I can get some compression. Man, so what I just did, and it seems to have helped a lot, was I pulled this plug out again, this number one plug, right? I turned the car over with the ignition button over here, and right when I felt it blow the air out, I know that's the compression stroke because that means both valves are closed. And so what I did was I pulled the cap and checked where the number one wire was, and it's way over here, but the rotor was pointing at this one. So I just reset all of the plug wires to where that one starts at 1, and it's 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. And I sprayed some starting fluid in it. And let's see if it'll happen again. So I sprayed some starting fluid in it, and then gave her a nice little bump. Oh, come on. Hey, it's a good start. All right. So now I got this set up on a tripod. I'm gonna see if I can get it going and keep it going with a little bit of mixed fuel. Hold up. Whose car don't run? Shh. Don't look. We're just gonna ignore that. Let's just turn this key down here. Whose car don't run? Yeah, buddy.